ब्रॉन्क्स न्यूयॉर्क में पाकिस्तानी कम्युनिटी की मारूफ समाजी और कारोबारी शख्सियत शबीर गुल की रिहाइशगाह पर डेमोक्रेट असेंबली मेंबर मार्क जोनाज, जो कि 13 सिटी काउंसिल डिस्ट्रिक्ट ईस्ट ब्रॉन्क्स से सिटी काउंसिल के लिए उम्मीदवार हैं, के लिए एक फंड-रेजिंग बारबेक्यू इशाइये का अहतमाम किया, जिसमें पाकिस्तानी कम्युनिटी के मुख्तलिफ शोबाए ज़िंदगी से ताल्लुक़ रखने वाले मोअज़्ज़िज़ीन की एक बड़ी तादाद ने शिरकत की।
Hello, I'm Democratic Assembly member Marc Gjonaj, and I'm running for the 13th City Council District of the East Bronx.
इस मौके पर खिताब करते हुए मुकर्रीन ने मार्क जोनाज की इंसान दोस्त मुसलमानों और खुसूसन पाकिस्तानी कम्युनिटी के लिए उनके नेक ख्वाहिशात और जज्बात पर उन्हें भरपूर सपोर्ट करने की यकीन दहानी कराई।
Whenever my respected brothers, as you know, the Marc, he loved Pakistani community, and all Pakistani, they live in Bronx, they love it. Not even in Bronx, in the city, even Long Island. Everybody know the Marc love Pakistani and Muslim community. And he promised us in assembly, he will forward the bill as soon as earlier for the halal in schools and the citywide. So inshallah, and he help us for the Eid holidays, and we are really appreciate that. So I don't want to waste the time. Now I like to invite our respected Imam. He will say a few words.
We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to gather us in the house of brother Shabbir Gul. I know Shabbir Gul from long time, and he is generous man, and he is living and helping the community for a long time. Today or tonight we are gathering to support our friend Marc for his contributions and serving the community at large. Let me just say something. To be successful in your life, you have and we have to help the others. Why? Because this is the one of the bounties of God. One of the bounties of God, when give you something, this thing that we have to retain to the other people. ما من نعمة أنعم الله على الإنسان وأسبغها عليه ثم نزعها منه إلا تحولت إلى مكان آخر. What does it mean? That's the bounty that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed in you. You have to share the other people, other communities. Otherwise, this ni'mah will be transferred from you to the other peoples. That's the successful that for the person when you help the others. Let us, our slogan, our also titles, that to help the others, regardless who are that. It could be Muslim, non-Muslims, Arab, non-Arab, Pakistani. We are the one community, living together, go to the market together, the same market, the same McDonald's, the same shopping centers. Also, our children, they go to the same school, public school, and we are living in the one environment, one community. Let us be united, just one body, helping each others, and minimize and fight against the corruptions and crime in the communities. That we have to live in prosperity and in a nice and safe environment. We ask God to help our brothers Marc for his mission and go to helping and serving the community in New York. And we will all together be one body to support who have the help the community. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All the time.
Now I'd like to invite our respected brother Dr. Naeem. He will say a few words, and inshallah after that our respected guest, he will be speak us. Dr. Naeem.
I welcome Marc Gjonaj to the community and your contribution to the community. As a Muslim, I'll take you back 1400 years ago. whenever my father taught me one thing, he said, whenever you have a question about what in life, a question about a problem, look yourself the way Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam will do that thing. So today's meeting reminded me his passion about how he would act if he would have been invited to this kind of gathering. If you go back to Medina, when he migrated from Makkah to Medina, he was a religious leader, but he gave them a new religion. Right after about few days, few months, he got politically involved in the local community. He became their leader eventually. He ruled the whole Arab and rest of the world also. So as a Muslim in this community, we have done our job of doing our small businesses, doing our backyard parties, doing our weddings, meeting friends and having a drawing room discussions. It's time to show our strength in the community, show our face in the community that we Muslims exist. For that reason, we have a person right now with us who has a record of helping the community. We have to support him at this time with our full support so he become to go to the next level of community serving. And then also we have to prepare ourselves to be taking some position in future in the political system. So today, my humble request to all of you is that this is an opportunity, it's a first step towards a political march, a political success for Muslim, a recognition for Muslim. So please help our friend Marc Gjonaj.
That's good.
Thank you for the community.
Brother Hushid Bali, he will say a few words.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi adkhilni mudkhila sidqin wa akhrajni mukhraja sidqin waj'alni min ladunka sultanan nasira. Very warm welcome, Mr. Marc Gjonaj sir. And I see everywhere it says elect Marc Gjonaj because he cares. And I really think you care. I think this is the time all of us to get involved in a local politics. We have to. All of us sitting in this backyard, we're not going nowhere. This is our country. We and our children gonna live in this country. Same like we take interest and we get involved in back home politics and back when we were back there. And the same, I think we really have to adopt, and I think this is our country, and we have to get involved in this local politics. This is the only option we have it. And we got opportunity, this is a wonderful politician, Mr. Marc Gjonaj. Everywhere we need him, we have access to him. He knows us, we know him. We all should, in every step, we should definitely support him so he can elect, so he can does a good work for us. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
I like to, the Marc, he will explain his agenda, inshallah, when he elect, what kind of service he provide our community. He's always with us, and community is with him. He's our shoulder, and we are his shoulder. Whenever city level, state level, anybody need help, contact me. Inshallah, I will knock his door 24/7. He's my family person. Marc Gjonaj.
Assalamu alaikum, my brothers.
Wa alaikum salam.
To my dear brother and family member Gul, thank you for always allowing me into your home. To the Imam and Dr. Naeem and the other honored guests, you've not only allowed me into your homes, but you've allowed me into your hearts, and for that I am always grateful. The Pakistan community, the Muslim community, is one that is known to me. It's one that I've worked alongside, I've eaten with, sweated with, fought when we had injustices, whether they be here or abroad. I remember 3 years ago, when those children were massacred in Pakistan, where we came together as a community, as a voice of opposition to that tragedy, and a voice to those families that had lost loved ones, to show them that there are friends in the United States that have not forgotten their homelands, that they have not forgotten to fight evil. Brothers, this community is near and dear to me, and I thank you for making the time to be here. I thank you for always being by my side. I thank you for giving back, for making a difference in the communities that you live. I thank you for being there for Hurricane Sandy, for participating in back-to-school giveaways, to being there for the less fortunate, to being there for those that are suffering, that are in pain. And I know that many of you are suffering, and many of you have made sacrifices to help someone else. The Imam mentions the purpose that we have in life. I know, as you know, that we were placed on this planet for a temporary time. And we all have a purpose in life. And I also truly believe that in our final days, in our final hours, while we are here, before we move on to the promised world, that we're going to ask ourselves a question. And that question is not going to be how much wealth I've accumulated, how much brick and mortar I'm leaving my children, how many cars I've purchased, how big my home is. We're going to ask ourselves one question. Am I leaving this place better than I found it? And what did I do to make it better? Brothers, that comes with a big burden in life when you realize that we all carry a debt, that we all have this responsibility to give back. My story is no different than many of the people that are here today. My parents immigrated to this country with a 5th grade education. No skill set whatsoever. They were farmers. They worked very hard. My upbringing was of poverty. Secondhand clothing that was donated from neighbors. What people threw in the garbage, furniture, my family went and collected and used in their home. I shared that story with you. I remember and I know where I came from. I know how many of you have suffered the same way, how many of your children have gone without. And because we live in the greatest country in the world, and because God is great, through hard work, through sweat, through dripping of blood, we have been very successful. We have businesses, we have homes, we even have second homes back home, and in some cases our homes back home are better than the ones we have here. We have more expensive cars back there than we have here. My people are no different than yours. Here we live in a basement. Back home, 3-story villa. You go there for 2 months a year with 3 cars in a driveway. Here we share 1 car and suffer with overcrowding in a small apartment. But that's also who we are. We never forgot where we came from. We never forgot our homeland. We have family there. It's confusing. It's conflicting. And in many cases, it's guilt. And the guilt is that we live in the most prosperous country in the world, that we can choose what to eat, when to eat, how much to eat. We spend money foolishly on material things that don't have real value. And that comes with another burden. And that burden is the family that we left behind, the people that we've left behind, our neighbors that we've left behind that go without. And sometimes we don't remember the responsibilities of having to be there for our neighbor, because it's only by sheer luck that we are here and they are there. Had it been you that remained in your small town, your small villages, and had a family member here that was thriving and doing well, you have to ask yourself, what would you be asking of your brother and sister? What would you be asking of your neighbor to help? That's the burden that we have. Because you are a newly immigrated community, you have a double burden. A burden here to become productive members of society, to be there for your brother and sister in time of need, while bearing that same responsibility for your home country and the neighbors and the family that you've left behind. And remembering that every square inch of those properties back home are drenched in tears, in blood, in sweat. That for generations your family fought and struggled to maintain and buy and build. So it's not easy for you to turn your back on your homeland. And I encourage you never to turn your back on your homeland. I was recently invited to a celebration where they became American citizens, and they came from all four corners of the world. And it was a proud moment for those families when you became an American citizen. And speaker after speaker congratulated them, talked to them about how important it was to become productive members of American society, and how privileged they are. When it was my turn to speak, I reminded those individuals, those families that had become American citizens that day, that they must hold on to their language, their traditions, and their cultures as they become productive members in this new country. That we live in a country that says, don't forget, speak your language, hold on to your faith and your traditions and your customs regardless. You have this privilege. And it would be terrible if you lost that history. You've always been there for me. I encourage you to get involved politically. It is the future. And no matter what your feelings are or how deep they are for your homeland, it is highly unlikely that you or your children will move back. That is not to say that you should forget. But remember that this is the place that your children are being born in, going to school, getting their professions, opening their businesses. And that reality that they may never return is a difficult balance. You have one foot here and one foot there. And it's a burden. So brothers, the political movement that the Muslim community, the Pakistan community is going getting involved more and more on a daily basis is your future. It's a voice for you. That passport that we spoke about earlier comes with an obligation. That blue passport is just not so you can come and go as you wish. It comes with certain privileges, but it also comes with a certain burden. And that burden means you must register to vote. The facts are simple. If you don't register to vote, you will not be recognized. But you say, Mark, how is that possible? We have businesses, we pay taxes, we employ people. So do other communities. It doesn't cost you anything to register to vote. I was surprised. The district that I'm running in now is 175,000 residents. Allerton Avenue, Pelham Parkway, Morris Park, Westchester Square, East Tremont, Throgs Neck, Country Club, City Island. It's a big territory. Do you know how many registered Muslims you have? 400.
That's all.
400 registered Muslims is all I could find based on the names, most common names. You're not helping yourself. You're not helping your children. You're not helping the next generation. You're not helping the Pakistan community or the Muslim community. It doesn't take much. It is 13 questions. Name, address, party affiliation, signature, you're finished. And even if you don't vote, all the politicians that are running for office, governor, mayor, assemblymen, senators, councilmen, borough president, it's easy for them to see. If I could do it in one day, they can do it in 1 hour. You're not helping yourselves to be heard. You're not allowing the political process and the system to embrace you. I wish I could come to you tonight and say, brothers, you've been there with me. We're going to win together. I don't need your money. I promise you that you're going to benefit from me. I can't do this by myself, and I can't rely not only on the vote because you don't have that many registered voters. Regardless of how much you've done for me, I will always be your brother. I'm that one guy who will always say, hold it. I have a Muslim community. I have a loving, caring, generous Pakistan community in my district that I've worked alongside of, that I've eaten with, that has embraced me, that has allowed me into their hearts, their homes, that has shared their pain and their joys with me. I've been to parties and I've been to funerals. I've been there in good times and in bad. But we need to come together to make a difference. The political system will work for you. And when you become registered and you become recognized as a community, the politicians, from the governor to the mayor and down, will come to you and your community and to your mosque and to your homes and say, what do you need from me? just so they can gain your vote and your support. Please help yourself. Help me. Help your children so they have an easier path in this new country, so they can be successful, so they can be recognized and appreciated, and not just for the businesses. I get upset when they say, Pakistan community, construction, or 7-Eleven, or convenience store. I says, no, you don't know that community. You don't know how much they give back, how much they do. They're in all sorts of businesses. They're a powerful community that has not been tapped. So I say with caution, don't be used. Become a part of it. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You have a gentleman that's here tonight that represents a bank who's working with your community. That relationship works. Why is it so difficult for you to understand the importance of being involved locally? There isn't a person here who does not read the newspaper or watch the news on the politics back home. A place that you're never going to return to, that your children are not going back to. You know who's left, who's right, who's up, who's coming down, who's coming upward. And you follow it every day. But here, where you're living, raising your family, operating your businesses, you don't get involved. Please give it thought, and you'll come to the same sensible conclusion. It's to your benefit, to this country's benefit, that you get involved and stay involved. And I promise you, I'll always be there for you, as you've always been there for me. God bless you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for your friendship. And thank you for your support.
Thank you, Marc. A really good message. I request my all brothers, my all community leaders, please donate generously to Marc Gjonaj. He's our leader and he cares us. Donate whatever you want. I like to mention a couple of names. My son Waliullah, he's not here, but he called me from Pakistan yesterday. He said, Dad, give to Marc $1,000.
Wow, that's good.
And Chaudhry Afzal Gulbahar, the President, Bronx Community Council, he donated $1,000. Chairman, Bronx Community Council and Mela 2017, Raja Sajjad Chib, he donated $1,000. And our community leader, our big brother, Malak Khaladawan, he donated $1,000. And our co-chairman, our respected brother Khurshid Balli, he donated $1,000. And our respected brother Naim Butt, he's away with his family, Pennsylvania, but he called in the morning, he donated $500. And our many brothers, I know that they was donating and they filled the forms. Please, I request my brothers, please, before you leave, fill the form. Brother Adil, our young leader, Adil Shuja, he donated $300. And our respected brother Mustafa, Yellowstone Construction, he donated $500. And I like to donate something as well. I want to donate $1,000.